What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Today, Pokemon revealed a ton of new cards from our upcoming August set, Darkness Ablaze, including a new Crobat V, which is basically a reincarnated Shaman EX, as well as a crazy new Eternatus VMAX card, which is sure to be the backbone of a brand new Dark deck. So I'm really excited about these cards. I've reviewed them live today on stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the Twitch channel and drop it a follow so you can join in on the fun when we stream live every single weekday. Also, make sure to check out FullGripGames.com for all your trading card game singles, as well as FullGripCodes.com for instant PTCGO code delivery. Supporting the shop at Full Grip Games directly supports the content that I create here on Tricky Jim. So thank you guys all so much for shopping at Full Grip. Let me know which cards from Darkness Ablaze are you most excited about in the comments below. Excellent. We've got some new Pokemon V, kicking things off with Houndoom V. It's a basic Pokemon. It's got an attack for 1 fire energy, Searing Flame, 20 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not burned. 2 fire and a colorless, Compensation Flame, 100 plus damage. If any of your fire Pokemon have damage counter on them, this does 100 more damage, so potentially 200 damage for 3 energy. Pretty good. Pretty easy to negotiate as well. You can definitely get damage counters on your fire Pokemon, either by letting them take attacks, or you could use Shrine of Punishment to damage maybe a Heatran GX or something like that. Or you could use Rainbow Energies, or, just naturally taking damage. So there's a lot of different ways to get damage counters on your fire Pokemon. Then we've got Dreadnought V and Dreadnought VMAX. Look at that handsome turtle, chat. Look at that. Look at that boy. That's definitely a big boy if I've ever seen one. Dreadnought V and Dreadnought VMAX both have the ability Hard Shell, which makes it so that they take 30 less damage from attacks. Dreadnought V, for 2 water and a colorless, has a powerful bite, 130 damage, and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Oh, look at him. His face is so cute. Then he stands up on his hind legs and he, gains like 100 HP. Dreadnought VMAX has an attack for 2 water and a colorless, G-Max Stone Surge, 160 damage, and you flip a coin. If heads, his attack does 80 more damage, so potential 240 damage for 3 energy. Gotta love those coin flips. Seems okay. Honestly, thinking about the Dreadnought V, still weak to lightning. So as far as water-type Pokemon are concerned, we've got Lapras VMAX, who could just do more damage than Dreadnought VMAX, and because of Frostmoth, water, the energy requirement is not really a problem. The biggest problem for water-type Pokemon right now is that big glaring lightning weakness with popular Pokemon VMAX like Toxtricity VMAX, and also, of course, Pikarom, who is apparently still kicking alive and well. So Dreadnought VMAX, cool Pokemon. Not exactly sure it's going to be any better than Lapras VMAX or Inteleon VMAX at this point. We've got Galarian Cursola V, who's got a similar sniping thing going on to the Dragapult VMAX, who we have all come to know and love. 190 HP. Galarian Cursola V has got an ability, Eating Aurora, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon. When your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Kind of reminds me of those old Amphiroses, right? There's like Ampharos with like the connectivity kind of abilities where you attach an energy, you take damage counters, things like that. Definitely reminds me of that. And then for a Psychic and a colorless, Hollow Missile, 60 damage, and you put 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. So I think that this actually seems like it'll be a very good partner for Dragapult VMAX. And thank you so much, Pokeron, for the 200 bits. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. This guy definitely seems like it'll pair well with Dragapult VMAX, so long as Malamar is legal. When Malamar rotates, maybe won't be wasting 2 energy attachments on a Pokemon that doesn't have 300 HP. Up next, more fighting guys. We've got Rhyperior V. Rhyperior V rocking 230 HP and has got 2 attacks. Drill Run, 80 damage, discard 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So that is a nice energy disruption attack there, and does 80 damage, softening up a lot of targets. And then Heavy Rock Cannon, 210 damage. This Pokemon can't use this attack during your next turn. Pretty common effect with a lot of Pokemon these days. Kind of continuing with the you need to play 4 switch in your deck kind of mentality. So Rhyperior V, I've been getting a lot of requests lately to play a Colossal Sandaconda deck. And I think that Rhyperior V seems to kind of fit the bill, you know, fits into that Sandaconda Colossal archetype. As far as energy requirements go, it only, you know, takes 1 fighting in order to get this thing powered up. So Colossal's energy acceleration of fire energy and fighting energy actually works very well with the Rhyperior V. And I have to say, this artwork is awesome as well. And Rhyperior, definitely a cool Pokemon. Not my favorite of the whole Rhyhorn, Rhydon line, I have to say. Rhydon is definitely my favorite. Raise your hand in the chat if Rhydon is your favorite of 3. Rhydon was as cool as it got. You didn't actually have to advance Rhydon in any way. I just would much rather prefer this be a Rhydon V. That being said, okay, I'll take it. Rhyperior, kind of cool. At least he's got a cool brother, you know, in Rhydon. Rhydon is definitely the coolest one, but that's okay, Rhyperior. He's got 2 horns. I mean, just the extra horn, it just seems extra. Okay, but Rhydon is definitely really sick, so that's fine. Ariados. This guy has actually got an amazing ability. Evolves from Spinarak. It's a stage 1. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may switch one of your opponent's evolution Pokemon with their active Pokemon. So this is Lycanroc GX. Or it's, yeah, it's Lycanroc GX. It's a gusting ability, but only for your opponent's evolved Pokemon, which conveniently works on Pokemon VMAX. So you can use the Ariados to gust up Pokemon VMAX. It's an automatic gust, and with Scoop Up Net in the format, you could theoretically reuse your Ariados. So I really like that, yes. I think automatic gust, this is everything that we wanted the Appleton to be, right? Appleton is a automatic coin flip gust every turn. You don't have to evolve on basic Pokemon. Now we have Ariados, which is a non-coin flip gust, but only on evolved Pokemon. So now we have both of these stage 1 Pokemon, the Appleton from Rebel Clash, the Ariados from Infinity, Darkness Infinity, Darkness Ablaze, yeah. So I really like this card. I think that it's very cool. Which decks will have the space to accommodate for it? I'm not quite sure. We could combo it, you know, potentially with Ditto Prism Star is pretty cool, but I think that this set is being released in June. We're not going to get it until basically rotation, because this will be part of our August set. So are we never going to get to play, you know, some of these cards? Like I said, the Galarian Cursola with Malamar, probably not, right? This card with Ditto Prism Star, probably not. Unfortunate, right? So I think most of these cards, it'll probably do us a favor to think in the context of rotation. So I think that, yeah, I think this card is very good though. And as Pokemon VMAX become more and more popular, I think that this card will certainly be a consideration in some decks. Crobat V. Clearly the coolest card in this set. Shaman EX is back. Kinda, not really, but definitely kinda, at least kinda. And Crobat, oh my gosh, talk about one of the coolest Pokemon ever created. Crobat is just an all-star. I love Crobat. It's amazing. You know, I was talking about Rhyperior. Rhyperior is unfortunately not a cool upgrade on Rhydon. Rhydon is cooler than Rhyperior. Crobat is the king of the bats, okay? Or queen of the bats. It's the top bat. It's better than Golbat. It's better than Zubat. Zubat's like, okay, Golbat's, you know, got a big, scary, derpy looking mouth. Crobat is the bat. It's the coolest one. This artwork is amazing, right? The artwork on the Crobat V, absolutely love it. Just look at the eyes, look at the pose. I mean, this is dark type poison Pokemon. Absolutely stunning. I could not be happier with how this Crobat looks, and it's an amazing card. It's got an ability, Night Asset. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to your bench, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Wow, that sounds familiar, except there's more. You can't use more than 1 Night Asset ability during your turn. It's also got an attack for a dark and a colorless Poison Fang, does 70 damage to your opponent active Pokemon is now poisoned. Yada, yada, yada. Who cares? We're talking about Night Asset. It's like Day Change. You can only use it once during your turn. But Night Asset is fill your hand to 6, just like Shaman EX's setup. So, this card's incredible. It's got 180 HP. Shaman EX only has 110 HP. In expanded format, we have Dedenne GX, we have Shaman EX, and now we have Crobat V. Any deck that plays multiple Shaman EX in expanded format. Let me think. Are there any decks that play multiple Shaman EX in expanded? Yeah, almost all of them. Almost all the decks that attack play multiple Shaman EX. And if your deck plays more than one Shaman EX in expanded format, you will clearly take at least one of those out and put it in a Crobat V. Why would you not? There is literally no reason not to do that. So you will absolutely take any expanded deck that has got at least 2 Shaman EX. You will take out probably at least one and put in a Crobat V. It's got 180 HP. Yes, Crobat V cannot be used with the Scoop Up Net combo in expanded format, and you can use Scoop Up Net with the Shaman EX. However, fitting all those Scoop Up Nets into expanded decks is going to not exactly be the easiest thing to do, and I definitely think that Crobat V with its 180 HP will have a place in expanded format. In standard format, oh yeah, this thing's going to have a place in standard format as well, right alongside Dedenne GX. We've had some lists run, 2, 3 Dedenne GX. Quite a few decks have played 3 Dedenne GX. Some have played 4. The early Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX decks. 4 Dedenne GX. Now, have you ever used, chat, raise your hand, have you ever used Day Change and you didn't find what you needed and you had a quick ball and you were like, man, I wish I could Day Change again? Have you ever thought that? Raise your hand in the chat if you've ever thought that. If you've ever thought that, hello, Crobat V is here to save the day. You can Day Change, and then you could draw into a new hand. And maybe you've got some quick balls and stuff, and you're like, dang, I can't Day Change again. But guess what I can do? I can use Night Asset, and we're going to fill our hand to 6 again. It's going to make turbo decks even more insane in standard format. So I think this card is nuts. This card is bonkers. It's absolutely incredible. It's one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. This might be the top combination of both cool and good playable card. I have never seen a good playable card that looked this good. So thank you, the creators of Pokemon cards. And also, I'm going to mess your name up, Planeta Mochizuki. Thank you so much, Planeta Mochizuki, for blessing us with this very, very beautiful artwork. And also, the Pokemon Company for giving us such a cool, good, powerful card. I am very excited. That is awesome. So thank you guys so much, Pokemon, for just giving us a cool card. I love this thing. You know what? That makes me excited. That makes me excited to go play the Pokemon trading card game. That's for sure. Now, Crobat V also. We're going to be talking about this card later because it combos well with another card in this set. We've got, he's down here. It's this one, but we're going to talk about it later. All right. We've got, in the meantime, Scrafty. Scrafty's holding his pants up as Scrafty does. It's got 2 attacks. Corner for 1 Darkness Energy, 30 damage. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. And Bad Brawl, 90 damage. And if you played Piers during this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. Darkness and 2 colors, 180 damage on a stage 1. Fine Pokemon, but nothing too crazy. Hoopa, 120 HP. Basic Pokemon. Hoopas are usually pretty good and also very scary in the source of things, in nightmares. Look at that thing. It's got how many hands? Too many hands. Hoopa, for 1 Darkness Energy, Assault Gate, 90 damage. If this Pokemon wasn't moved from your bench to the active spot during your turn, this attack does nothing. So in order to do 90 damage for 1 energy, you basically need to do the whole Team Up Zapdos thing, right? Go from the bench, come into the active position. Basically, this is Thunderous Assault on Zapdos, except instead of doing 10 damage or whatever it did, it's base 10 damage, right? It does actually nothing. So it's basically, kind of better than Zapdos. It's like a dark Zapdos with a little bit more HP. Definitely dig that. It's just a good, solid Pokemon. Now, Eternatus V and Eternatus VMAX, you know them from the Sword and Shield games. The scary snake-looking dimension dark type things that are scary. All right, Eternatus, what you got for us? Dark-type Pokemon, Eternatus V, 220 HP. For colorless energy, Power Excel, 30 damage, and you may attach a Darkness energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. So some nice little built-in energy acceleration. Definitely dig that. And then Dynamax Cannon for Darkness and 3 colorless, 120 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon VMAX, this attack does 120 more damage. So 240 damage to Pokemon VMAX on a non-VMAX Pokemon, but it takes 4 energy. How are we going to get all those energy onto our Darkness Pokemon? Well, there may be some answers that lie ahead. Eternatus VMAX, 340 HP, which is the highest amount of HP revealed for a VMAX Pokemon. Both Eternatus VMAX and Snorlax VMAX kind of sharing that throne for the biggest Pokemon ever created. It's got an ability, Infinity Zone. If all of your Pokemon in play are Dark type, you may now have up to 8 Dark Pokemon on your bench, and you can't play any other type of Pokemon. So, hello, wait. We got Dark Shaman EX, and we got Dark Skyfield. This set is just Dark Roaring Skies. It's just dark, it's just Roaring Skies, just Dark type. All right, so it's Dark Skyfield. All right, so we've got Dark Skyfield over here. If all of your Pokemon play are dark, they all have to be dark. So you cannot have any other kind of Pokemon in play. Now, the problem with decks and gimmicks that previously required that you have all Pokemon of a specific type in play was that none of the consistency Pokemon were that type, right? We have Shaman EX. Basically, Shaman EX was never that type. Whatever type you tried to have all of the same type on your bench, Shaman EX was never that type. Dedenne GX is not that type. Now, we have got a dark consistency Pokemon in Crobat V. Crobat V can be used to set your deck up, and it fulfills the requirement of being a dark type Pokemon. So you can play this, and this is actually a playable good ability, allowing you to have up to 8 bench Pokemon, and so long as they're all dark type, which is totally fine because of the fact that Crobat V exists, which is incredible. So that's amazing, and this thing has an incredible attack. Dread End reminds me of Dead End GX on the Darkrai GX, but Dread End does 30 damage times the number of your dark Pokemon. So 9, you could do 9 times 3. That's if you do the finger trick, you know. Now that's a 9 times 3, yeah, 27. It's 270. Oh yeah, 270. Raise your hand if you do the finger trick still, and you just do 1, 2, 3. It's 207. All right, moving on to the finger trick. Yes. I didn't realize that I was teaching math here, chat, but all right, moving on to the finger trick. If you're multiplying by 9, say we're doing 9 times 5, right? You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 times 5 is 45. 4, 5. Bruh. All right, try another one. 9 times 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 54. 54. Excellent. All right, there's the finger trick. If you didn't know the finger trick, now you know. 100% of the time, it works every time. Eternatus VMAX can do 270 damage for a darkness energy and a colorless energy. Don't question it, chat. It's 3 times 9. You can have 8 bench Pokemon, and you can have an active dark Pokemon. With Infinity Zone, up to 8 dark Pokemon on your bench, plus the Eternatus VMAX or other dark Pokemon can be in your active position, and then you can Dread End for 270 damage. If you have a Vitality Band on, you could do plus 10 more damage, right? So you could do 280 damage. Pretty gnarly Pokemon with 340 HP. I certainly think, and it only costs 2 energy. How does it only cost 2 energy? It's absolutely insane. So, if it only costs 2 energy, then that is certainly going to be a very easy attack to be able to use, right? You don't really need to. With 340 HP, you don't even need a way to accelerate energy. And Weavile GX, you can have Weavile GX on the bench, right? Moving your energy around. So it's just 340 HP. You know what? Fighting Pokemon may eventually even, fighting Pokemon might get good again, chat. This is just so powerful that I'm willing to concede that I think that fighting Pokemon could have their time in the light again. I think fighting Pokemon are gonna have a field day, that's for sure. 340 HP, and the attack only costs 2 energy. Dragapult VMAX is all over the place right now, but it is weak to dark, critically weak to dark. And Dark Box players, if you've been playing Dark Box in vain for the last God knows how long, just for a long time, you've been playing Dark Box, you've never let go. You believed in Weavile GX. Expanded format, sure, was like a sip of water in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Maybe you could go play expanded format and you could have a little bit of your craving for dark type Pokemon fulfilled just by playing expanded, but Turbo Dark, it's not the same. You wanted standard Dark Box. Now is your time, chat. Now is your time. This August, Eternatus VMAX, Weavile GX, just moving the energy all over the place. 340 HP and upwards of 270 damage for just 2 energy. I mean, you can't argue with that. This deck is going to be busted. And there's even, man, this deck is going to be so good that I might even play Dark. I'm going to play Dark Box. I'm going to be a huge Dark Box stan. That's for sure. I mean, my goodness, this deck, it's got Crobat in it. Man, say no more. I'm sold. This looks amazing. So I'm definitely really excited about that. Eternatus VMAX, hooray. What a cool card. Is it a hand? Is that what Eternatus V? It looks like a claw. Now that I'm looking, it looks like a powerful hand thing. I don't know if you take a look at that. Apparently, it's like a giant, looks like the hand from Super Smash Brothers. I'm kind of just realizing that. Anyways, moving on. So, Scizor V. It's basic Pokemon for a Metal Energy. Tear off 30 damage. Discard 1 Pokemon tool and 1 special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That's pretty nifty. 210 HP. And then Slash Claw. 140 damage. 2 metal and a colorless. 140 damage. All right, Scizor. You know, I know there's a lot of Scizor fans out there, but this Scizor, it's not quite doing it. Okay, 140 damage. You know, have you read Zacian? Sorry, Scizor, you're not doing it. Then there's Salamence V. It's got an attack Transflight for 3 colorless. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. You don't apply weakness and resistance. And then Heavy Storm for 4 colorless, 160 damage. And Salamence is not Dragon type. Yo, thank you so much, Rafex, for the $1 donation. Appreciate you. Salamence V, not Dragon type. Just saying. It is furthering the suspicion that dragons are no longer with us. But Dragon types are cooler as colorless Pokemon. Dragon types are cooler as colorless Pokemon. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. Moving on. Dragon type, the green, it was ugly. Better off canceled. Colorless dragons, that's what I'm talking about. All right, moving on, we've got Piers. It's a supporter card. You remember Piers, that, the guy who spent a lot of time in Hot Topic. He's got an effect. Search your deck for a dark Pokemon and any 1 energy. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So Piers, I'm not super, is it Piers? Piers? Anyways, Piers. He searches your deck for a darkness Pokemon and an energy. I'm not super into it, but I guess it can search out special energy, right? 1 dark Pokemon and any 1 energy. So it gets special energy. So for that, Piers, okay, I'll give it to you. I think that it can get any kind of energy, it seems. And, maybe in your Dark Box deck, you're going to want to go get a special energy. So maybe Piers, maybe. Now, the real cool supporter revealed here is Rose. You know, the guy from Sword and Shield who spent almost all of the game in his boxer shorts for some reason. Raise your hand if you had that thought when playing through Sword and Shield. This guy was he's in a business suit here. I really wish that they would have printed the boxer shorts, Rose, personally, because this man was just kicking it in his boxers like the entire game. Just walking around in his underwear, and then all of a sudden he's just, here in a business suit. But I don't know. I prefer the boxer short version of Rose. Anyways, this supporter is really, really good. So it's, choose 2 basic energy from your discard pile and attach them one of your Pokemon VMAX, then discard your hand. No! I have to discard my hand, but you get to accelerate 2 basic energy from the discard pile to one of your VMAX. Now, this is a powerful supporter. With cards like Crobat V to Dene GX, you can draw, you can have your draw power and Zebstrika, right? You can have your, but Zebstrika won't get to be, Zebstrika's rotating, isn't it? Is Zebstrika rotating? Zebstrika's rotating. It's rotating, isn't it? It's rotating, isn't it? I feel like it's rotating. Smells like it's rotating. Oh yeah, baby. He's rotating. Oh, he's long gone. Anyways. Lost Thunder. Yeah, see it. So, Rose. You have to discard your hand, but you get to bring 2 basic energy from your discard pile to a Pokemon VMAX. It's very good considering we're going to be losing Malamar for Dragapult. You don't have to use red and blue to accelerate energy for your Dark Box deck. You could theoretically use Rose for that. Though, maybe using red and blue into Weavile GX is not necessarily necessarily the worst thing in the world. Could certainly see some play. Rose is going to be very good for just getting energy onto your Pokemon VMAX and is going to give everything that's not fire type a chance to be able to participate, because I'm tired of people talking about using Bead. Bead is not good. So this is much better than Bead, but you have to discard your hand. Fortunately, there is a stadium called Rose's Tower. Now we have Instruct Oranguru. Sorry, Instruct Oranguru is not in standard format. Obviously, you could use Rose with Instruct Oranguru in expanded format, but in standard, we've got Rose Tower. It's a stadium card. It reads, once during either player's turn, that player may draw cards from their deck until they have 3 cards in hand. Now, I really love this card, and I think this is an incredible stadium. If you thought Instruct Oranguru was good, this card is also very, very good. In fact, the only thing holding this card back from being just the most busted stadium ever is the fact that Chaotic Swell exists. Chaotic Swell keeps this card in check because there previously, you could use Silent Lab to stop Instruct Oranguru. You could use Alola Muck to stop Instruct Oranguru. There's not actually any way to stop a Rose Tower except for Chaotic Swell. So I think that Rose Tower is very powerful, but Chaotic Swell is a stadium that can stop you from putting Rose Tower into play. But I think that the effect of Rose Tower is extremely good. And one of the things that I think is very cool about this new incoming Dark Box deck is that you can have up to 8 bench Pokemon, but you don't have to put a stadium card into play. You don't have to put a stadium card into play in order to have 8 bench Pokemon. So that effect is really cool, and it's going to allow you to play whatever stadium you want in your Dark Box deck. Will it be this stadium? Probably not, because you could just use red and blue. You don't need to use the Rose to get your energy onto your Pokemon. You could just use red and blue to accelerate, and then Weavile GX to move them around. But in decks that want to utilize Rose, you will probably also want to use Rose Tower, a little 1-2 punch there. So I think that Rose Tower is extremely good, but Chaotic Swell exists and can stop it from ever coming into play, which can be annoying for your Rose Tower combo, but I do think that combo is very powerful. Then we also have the special Darkness energy, Hide energy. I definitely think that that's probably not going to be the name that sticks around on that card. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides a Darkness energy, and the retreat cost of your Dark Pokemon this card is attached to is 0. Nice little free retreat on your Dark Pokemon. Great for, your hefty Eternatus VMAX, who's got a retreat of 3. So Dark decks are surely going to love that. And there's a nice little full art Pokemon Center lady. Oh, she's cute. It's great. And, there's, in case you were wondering what Eternatus VMAX looked like. There we go. And Piers, and Piers sleeves. Excellent. So that's our upcoming set, August set. It's going to be in our August set. Darkness Ablaze is not going to be, comboed with another set. And this is Japan's June set. So it's coming out in about a month in Japan. So very much looking forward to that. All these cards are going to be with us for the new rotation. So I'm excited about the new Dark Archetype, excited about the new Crobat, definitely some busted cards and some awesome artwork. So a lot to be excited for the future of the Pokemon trading card game.